Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is the campaign that wouldn't die of Star Wars Saturdays. Star Wars Saturdays is where every Saturday I take a run a game set in Star Wars in the galaxy far, far away. And often I will choose a different game every month, and there will be new folks who will come in and either revisit characters or create new characters so that we can tell a story together using a different RPG. However, for the last several months, I've continued to run Stellar Conflict, a game by Jared James, which is a hack of Dungeon World, and it's quite skillfully done. We have also layered on more rules and more stuffs and added clocks. It's great. I was running Scum and Villainy for my wife last night, and I threw the first project clock at her and had to explain the idea behind a 4-tick project clock because she just had never engaged with such a thing before. It was very interesting for her to go, wait, what is a tick? I'm like, just one of the little sections, like a Trivial Pursuit, the thing where you get one of the things. And she's like, okay, Trivial Pursuit. That made sense. So we are session, I want to say like 12 or something. Yeah, this is I have conflict 11 on last time, so this will probably be our 12th session, and a lot has happened. I'm not going to recap because it's so much. In last session, which was our revisit after our kind of epilogues, we jumped into the crew saving some people from some slavers, and you were much more successful than I anticipated. It was wonderful. I'm very impressed by all of you. Very good at what you do. It's great. You saved a number of Twi'lek, Togruta, and other non-humans, because this is in the Imperial Remnant under the auspice of Warlord Zinj, where certain races are allowed to be slaves. Certain species are allowed to be enslaved in the imperial edicts, authorized to be slaves. I mean, like, there are legal slavers, and then there are illegal slavers. Those are the ones who slave the species that are not allowed to be slaved for, imperial logic reasons. I'd like to fast forward past you guys in your travel and ask, where is it that you are taking these people that you've rescued? Are you taking them to Arx, which is currently in a bit of upheaval after their slave rebellion and slave revolt? Are you taking them all the way to Riven, where Cincinnati has enjoyed the attention of the royals, and Tirla Path has declared she is no longer a princess? Or did you find some other place where these poor refugees could be taken to start a new life? We'll start with the person who owns the bucket of bolts you're flying on, Cincinnati Soul Run. Where's your idea? Where should they go? Where should all these poor unfortunate souls go?
I almost started singing. So is the battle raging in on the gas planet?
I think
For freedom, or is it over?
Let me ask, what's more interesting to this group? Arx is ours, right? Like, we did the thing that all new directors who come into Star Wars do, made up our own damn planet. It's just what it is. Like, and then eventually go to Tatooine. So at some point, sorry, we have to go to Tatooine because Star Wars. But is it more interesting that the idea for our last two sessions to have Arx being a place that's trying to find a way to make it work after a slave rebellion, or it's still like an ongoing struggle that occasionally bubbles up into protests and fights?
That's a good question. I'd like to pull the table. I will say that you jokingly say we have to go back to Tatooine. But I will say that for me, and this probably won't be everybody's cup of tea, but actually finally going back to Tatooine and freeing slaves there would be very cathartic for me as a person, because how has there been slaves after Master Anakin Skywalker? Okay, but I like the
Tatooine's so out there. They have human slaves.
so if we could do that, that would be neat. I do like the idea of like giving these people the choice of where to go. And I'd like the idea that some of them would immediately be like, yeah, we just got done being slaves, but it's time to join the fight to free more people and keep the ball rolling. And then some of them just wanting to have a break, you know?
To that end, I could kind of see, in my mind, I could kind of see arcs being it's in flux. Like there's still holdouts of power and people, trying to people on one, because it's a gas giant, right? And it's like these floating platforms. So maybe one platform is still like, hey, we're locked up and we're waiting for reinforcements, but the rest, I could see it kind of being a staging ground of sorts for like freedom in this sector. So it could be, yeah, hey, we'll take you guys to arcs because there are a lot of people who are also getting on shuttles at arcs and going wherever the hell they want to go. And it's just like, we'll take you there. It's a hop skip for us. And then, do as you will, because that's what's happening on arcs right now is people are retaking these machines, retaking these platforms. And some of them are like, no, we're getting the fuck out of here.
So from my perspective, I'd really like to see the story of the individuals. Like, what do they do and how do they grow and how do they adjust to what they're doing? I'll toss out another possible location, which is it? It's the spaceport that we've been to before in Star Wars World. Is it It's not Black Spire. It's
we have not been to Batu. I would know about this.
It's the spaceport where we've had bikers before and gangs, and you have a map of it, Rich.
Mos Timo, was that it? Is it not that one?
No,
it's
I don't think so.
Terminopolis. We had I know I was in a swoop gang game there.
I'm in my folder, but you guys, I ran so much swoop gang.
It's I think
This
the one
it's the one where we played the Spirit of 77 game as well.
Oh, that's much easier. There's only one Spirit of 77 games. Let me go there. Thank you very much. I'll find that.
The one I'm thinking of is the one where
maybe you were talking about something different.
the one I was thinking of was the one where I had a character who was a droid, and the droid had multiple droids who were all
yes!
going back and forth.
Spaceport Trident Vespa. I
Thank
remember your droid mini droids.
The reason I said that is because that was kind of a hub of scum and villainy, but there was also a spaceport there where people could spread out, and we could have a home base there that was kind of hidden where people wouldn't look twice at us and that kind of stuff. But I only mention it because of familiarity, which I couldn't come up with the name, so maybe that doesn't help any.
Super familiar.
Yeah.
I kind of like using arcs because that's where we've been in this game.
I agree.
And using that where they had the slaves and now the slaves are running it, that feels satisfying to me, but I don't have a strong opinion on it otherwise.
Yeah,
I think with that too. I think that's really cool.
I think arcs is a good idea because we don't want to introduce new things. Yeah,
it's true.
You hate to introduce new things in a later episode of Star Wars.
That's right.
Yeah, that never.
Another vote for arcs from me, and also a wish, I guess, since I introduced some sort of NPC that hired us to also be assassins and kill this.
That's true. Someone hired you to be an assassin.
I wouldn't mind.
Assassin hirer.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind whoever that mysterious NPC to come back, because then we actually get paid. Am I right, Cody? Am I right?
I don't know. Did we assassinate? I don't remember how that shook out. I don't know.
No, we did.
Yeah.
Like this hut lost his head.
Yes, that's right.
And I don't mean he lost control. I mean he literally lost his head.
He went down.
Yeah, and if we don't have to join the rebellion, but I could see an interesting NPC with rebellion ties hiring people out to assassinate huts. I think that's pretty cool. Thank you. My son Julian is here. He's giving me feedback on my role playing like ideas that I'm pitching. He's like,
Nice.
and he just started saying when he's playing role playing games, he's like, "Let me pitch you an idea, Dad." I'm like, "You took that from me."
That's great. That's great. I adore that. No notes. Good job. That is a thing to pass down. I gotta now pay attention the next time I play an RPG with my son to see if he's picked up any of my BS. Probably not. He's got his own. I just put in the NPCs tab a top row, and I would like for each of you four, doesn't have to be now during the session, but if you've got inspiration, create one of the people that you freed, because you said you'd like to see how these people settle in. So let's put some names to them. You don't have to worry about pictures if you don't have a picture in mind. That said, a friend of mine has an incredible Pinterest, and under the names and species helper, you see the need a pick for your Star Wars character under column A. You'll take a look at Anand 5827's wonderful Pinterest board. That's just the username of this person who's actually English. So it is my favorite Star Wars Pinterest board. I will say that. My favorite. It's nearly perfect. I can't believe how many pictures he has of Chevin. Just Chevin. Just 6 different pictures of Chevin. I didn't know there were any more than one, but there you go. Cool. So that's my assignment to all of you. Here, I'll put it in chat in case somebody make up a free save. So let's revisit arcs. I think it would be interesting, since Neffel Station is like our iconic location of arcs that we've used to represent our arcs conflicts. That is where you guys arrive on the Duchess Gambit. Now, as I believe I mentioned before during one of our talk offs, Mr. Natsuki Sakamori, I have a feeling that he is currently on a sabbatical because of the problems that have happened. The Yoshigawa Corporation has allowed him to go on a sabbatical. He has effectively left Neffel Station in the unrest. Now, Patrol Commander Rosamond Isers, I have a feeling that she has been very torn by the unrest because she supports the idea of the slave revolt, but still considers it kind of her sacred duty to keep her home safe. So she has continued to provide security, but perhaps you've heard or witnessed times when, if a protest wasn't threatening anyone's lives, she would pull back some of the space patrol and the security forces to allow people to peacefully protest. It's only when things escalate, when tempers flare, that she would bring her forces in. So she's in a very difficult position because it's still her responsibility to keep the people of Neffel Station safe, but by doing so, she is, as the revolters say, a tool of the oppression. Does that jive with everybody? Does that make sense? Maria Samyan has, well, she has a part to play in an as yet unfulfilled epilogue. So we don't know where she is. Cool. So, you guys, oh my God, we have a Chadra fan. I'm so excited. Because who wouldn't enslave a Chadra fan? Actually, I think enslaving any of these people is terrible and not good.
Rich, Could um do you have a link to the character keeper where I played in the Monster of the Week game with you, or Bounty of the Week game with you, and I played a Twi'lek
Oh, I
that was
do.
big, fluffy, and lovable?
He was fluffy and lovable, and I will find that momentarily. That was actually in one of the games that Steven just referenced, I think. Where you were, Steven, you played the droid with many droid friends.
Yeah.
That was.
That's where I thought you had a droid named Rosie. But maybe not.
Talon Gendro.
Talon Gendro. He'll be my NPC. He's been caught in bad times and ended up a slave on Arcs.
So sad. He deserves better.
Well, now he's a rebel,
Oh,
so that's okay.
he always seems
Thanks.
pretty rebellious. See if I can find that pig pen.
Rich, I'll also say that you always make sure to protect your players and make sure that that characters are just well protected. But I will tell you, I'm gonna play Sin like a stolen vehicle. And so
Okay.
if this war means that he makes the ultimate sacrifice, I'm fine with that. And then if I get
Okay.
to pick up Talon Gendro from there, that would be fine too.
Oh my goodness. As soon as you mention Talon Gendro, you like want to kill Sin. Is that what you're saying? Like I like Sin, but you've given me the opportunity to bring back my other guy. I just dropped him in there for you.
I appreciate that, Rich. Thank you.
Oh, I misspelled Twi'lek. Oh my goodness. Cool. So, the lot of you arrive at. Oh, okay. I'm just stepping away. As a reminder, also, friends, we do not have Unleash next week in our final Stellar conflict. Very sad, but still, we'll continue on. But still, let's look for stepping off points for Tierla, that kind of stuff. Of course, yes, I can. Yes, Stephen, responding to your private message, I can kill Tierla. Oh, wait.
Oh, oh shit.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Just joking. Sweet. I hope you guys have fun coming up with these wonderful NPCs or pulling PCs back into the fold. That's the best part of Star Wars Saturdays, is that we can do that. I just love the idea of you guys looking back and going, wait, we saved these people? Oh man. So when the Duchess Gambit comes in to the hangar, there are a few people who are waiting. You've communicated ahead, and there are families here. Nabana's family is here to welcome some of these refugees because they'll need food, they need clothing, maybe they need a hot bath, something. And there are 20 people here to receive. Let me ask, Anish, how many slaves do you think were freed? Dozens?
Yeah, I'm thinking like 30, maybe. That's as many as I can imagine as fitting on the ship.
Cool, I like that. And so we did say it was pretty squeezed in and tight,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that works for me. Ortolan, yes. Look at these great folk. Sorry, just loving all these. Talon Gendro is thick. He is indeed. So, Nabana would tell Tassa and Tirla, I can help with the receiving of all of these new people onto the station. You don't have to. I'm sure you need to repair the ship and collect on your bounty. And she will head down and away. So, what, Tassa, what do you do?
I think I follow along with them, kind of taking them to the different, I guess quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I make sure that they get paired up with someone who's been here for a little while that can probably teach them the ropes. You know, this person seems like they're coming from a family, and so I put them with another family so they can, gain a sense of familiarity. This
How
person seems
engaged is Tasa in that? Is this a thing where she's had full-on conversations with these people, or does she rely on someone, or just her sense of people through the Force?
I think mainly it's her sense of people and kind of a read. She can feel the anger coming off of one of them, so she directs them towards one of the more patient people who, might be able to put up with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. Cool. Tirla, what about you? Of course, you being a natural leader, people are looking to you for advice and direction. How do you handle that?
I think Tira has fallen into being kind of I guess, a coordinator and facilitator. Like she's not the one doing much of the actual work. She's happy to jump in wherever she's needed, but she knows who's doing what. So if a lot of people come to her with questions and I need this thing right now. Who do I go talk to? And she knows where to point them. But I think that's something that's just kind of happened. It's not that she sought out that role.
Interesting. Cool. Cause as Tirla has become the coordinator of things and Tasa Bray is helping with assignments of people, what are you doing?
Well, Kaz, he flew the ship in that rescue, and it's not his favorite part of the job and hardly one he's good at. So he's, kind of exiting the ship, looking at the sides like, oh yeah, I scratched that up a little bit, but I won't tell Sin. He doesn't need to know. And I think he is gonna get on the horn with Sadie and see if she's got any kind of straight down the middle bounties coming his way. He's the assassination game that Sin wants to play is a little bit too edgy for him. Bounties, they can come in dead or alive, but that's their choice, and he likes to give people that choice. Assassination is just a little bit too cold-blooded for Kaz, so he's just kind of like, let me know if there's anything coming along. But when he's kind of like putting those feelers out. The big thing is he's helping Tirla wherever she needs muscle or wherever she needs just another person who looks like they might be in charge. They've run into a couple of times where Tirla's saying like, hey, you can go here. And maybe folks aren't listening, but having the presence of muscle nearby gives them like, oh, okay, we should just go ahead and listen. And they know what they're talking about. And he wants to, having worked for the Paths before, granted, the father was an absolute prick. Tirla seems to be a good egg, so he's going to help her out when he's not engaged with the active mission.
Cool. I like that. Let's jump into that. I think it'd be interesting to have you conversing with our lovely Sadie. Congratulations on your welcome on returning to Neffel Station, Master Kingrave.
No,
Were
thank you,
you
Sadie.
successful in the particular mission for which Mr. Soren acquired our services?
Yes, that whole thing went fine without a hitch. Honestly, make sure everybody feels put on everyone's performance reports. Make sure they have great marks. Everyone did a great job. Honestly, everyone, and I might even say, it's not humble of me to say it, but I did a fantastic job. I took a role that's not suited to me. Really, a team player, Sadie. Make sure that plays up in everybody's reports, and go ahead and get those sent over to their data pads by the end of the day.
I'm in no way surprised by your excellence, Master Kingrave.
That's why you're my girl, Sadie.
You can pick up the bounty for that particular hunt from Janice, the Pentoran fixer who was on Neffel Station and hired you originally. I'll let him know that you're on your way.
Wonderful,
First
wonderful.
deal in physical credits.
I love that. Physical credits are tough to beat in this galaxy. That's great news, Sadie. Go ahead and buy yourself some flowers. You did a great job on this one. I'll go ahead and we'll take it from the account. Bill it. That's fine. And if you could, there's a lot of folks coming in Neffel Station. If you could, go ahead and ship us some calf. We're going to need some calf, and we're going to need a brewer pretty strong to keep everybody moving. So if you could go ahead and do that, Sadie, I appreciate that. And again, just debit it to the account. I'll go pick up these credits, and this will all be squared. Thank you so much.
Of course. Are you looking to take a bit of furlough, or are you looking to acquire a new target, Master Kingrave?
Always looking for new targets, Sadie. You know that, even if the target is furlough. But right now, yes, I am looking for a bounty. Yeah, I do need to have a target in that kind of thing. That actually is kind of core to my being right now, but we don't need to get into that. What do you got?
Of course it's core to your being, Master Kingrave. You're so good at it. Well, there is, in particular, within Arcs, but not on Neffel Station, a bounty of some repute, a female former bounty hunter who has gone rogue and acted against the guild code. Therefore,
So far, so good. Loving it. Give me the details. Yeah, great.
It was currently she utilizes Mandalorian armor. That does make her a harder target.
Okay. Makes her a hard target, but it also makes her a bright one. Have you seen what those guys wear? Insane. They just shine in the sun. You can spot them a mile away.
There is a secondary bounty from the family of the Mandalorian from which she stole the armor.
Wonderful. A 2-for-1.
Returned to them.
Great. Go ahead and tack that into the report. We're going to need that. Absolutely. And the name of this bounty hunter?
The name of the bounty hunter is Mado.
Foreign Mado. Great. Sure. Let's go ahead and send me if you got her chain code, that'd be even better. And we can go ahead and get this. We'll get this moving. We'll get this project started up ASAP.
Yes, I will provide you the chain code that she was used to be identified in the Bounty Hunter Guild, but I do worry that may not be entirely reliable.
Sadie, is it your job to worry?
Yes, Master Kingrave, of course. I always worry for you.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Excellent. I will forward those details to you shortly. Thank you.
Perfect. And if you could go ahead and send everybody else on the crew, everyone else on the Duchess Gambit, send them a congratulations for a job well done. It'll make them feel good. And then also say, here's your next job. They need to be aware that this is what we're doing. Somebody needs to get them in line. I tell you what, Sadie, you don't need to listen. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Kingrave. And she disappears. Cool. That was fun. So the name is Foreign Mado. Foreign Mado is a former bounty hunter who took out a target, stole their armor, and has run afoul of the Bounty Hunter Guild. What makes a former bounty hunter as a target most challenging in Cause's experience? Is it their skill set, that they know
let me
the
tell you,
tricks of the trade?
It's exactly that. Anyone who was a bounty hunter knows how the guild works, and so they know the way that the process happens. So you got to think 3 steps ahead and 2 steps to the side, because these people, they know first the bounty goes out like this, the code's going to be this, they're going to have to process several layers of paperwork in these fashions. So they got at least a couple of days head start, right? Unless they're in a backwater planet where you can just put a kill order out. That's not what we're doing in the guild. That's not how it works. And so they know the A to Z on the plan. You gotta be able to jump ahead of where they think they are in that plan and get around in a pincer maneuver, metaphysically speaking. So it's just tough, they know it.
That sounds very challenging to me. I Can't wait
it can
to
be
see how
tough,
you
but for an expert
overcome.
like Kaz, that's what he thrives on. Performance.
Sweet. Let's check in with Mr. Soul Run, because we know what Tossa and Tirla have been drawn into. We know what Cause is up to. Cincinnati, you're going post-flight checks. Everyone's moved off of the Duchess Gambit. Things are calm by yourself in the cockpit there. What's something that Cause did that you are dealing with in the cockpit? Maybe it's an improvement. Maybe it's not an improvement.
Oh man, I hate that Cause has calibrated the sensors and probably maximized output on the shields. And as much as like Sin loves piloting the ship, he's not very good at like necessarily knowing how she works all the time. And he'll never admit it, but like every time Cause gets behind the wheel, like it's for the better of the ship.
Oh man, so you're not fixing up what he did. Are you admiring it?
I'm admiring. I think Rosie comes in and I'm like, look at this guy, show off. Like I'm mad, but not really, sort of thing. Yeah. Teasing begrudging admiration.
Yes, everything seems to be in working order.
I think so, Rosie. Sometimes I even wonder what I'm doing here. Everything seems to just run on its own. What am I really adding to this rebellion?
What is it you wish to add?
No, I just, this sort of thing just sounds so glorious, and it's hard work, and you move forward 1 inch at a time. It's just frustrating.
Yes. Unfortunately, one single attack does not overthrow an entire society's stakes.
Yeah, it almost makes you think why the emperor wanted to do what he did, right? I mean, the real problem is people. Am I right?
Yes,
Don't worry.
I was recently reading some literature about rebellion.
Interesting. You're not going to go around dissolving any senates, are you?
Of course not.
What do you want for you, Rosie? You're a droid. Tangent. This is never a question that like Sin has asked before, or anything of this sort. Do you have dreams? And I like.
It is in my
I nod.
programming to serve organics. I enjoy helping you. I will outlive you, and I want to make your life as pleasant as possible while you are here.
Okay, creepy, but I will take that in the spirit that it was intended. Thank you. But like, what about like dreams, aspirations, wishes?
When I am in rest cycle, I do not dream.
Not dreams like that, but like, what do you want to be when you grow up, Rosie? By the way, Rosie has gotten like a nice new paint job. She's looking pretty polished. I think maybe she even has like a little bow now on the side of her chassis to make her look so doggone pretty.
I am fulfilled as part of this crew.
Huh. Contentment. Are all droids content? Out of character, she said no.
She said no. Yes.
Oh.
No, not at all. But most find their way to be content with their lot.
Okay. No long-term goals, huh? Well, what can I do for you in the short term? I mean, I haven't done the best job, but I've tried to polish you up a little bit and replace your parts.
I am most thankful for what you have done. May I consider before I answer?
Please. It's funny, you have all this computation power, and you still have to go think about things every once in a while, huh?
Yes, I do.
Think about what you want in the long term too. Maybe you're not as content as you think. And someone in the chat put contentment is something Sin doesn't know about. No, he has an addictive personality. So you're right, he doesn't.
Rosie will turn and clomp on the. If we, as a reminder for those who can't see the picture, it's a pit droid that has been bolted on top of a gonk powered droid. So Rosie kind of has this waddle, and she makes her way out of the cockpit to leave you alone to finish up with your thoughts. And
Sin literally put a bow on a trash can.
It's delightful. I think it's lovely.
That's how Sin feels about his life. He's
Oh my gosh, yes. Critics will be talking about this moment in cinema forever. Yes.
Sweet.
Perilous
So
Sin's life.
I will selfishly hard frame to fulfill my epilogue, which is the Cincinnati, after having offered Rosie a promise of not being content and wishing for something that he may or may not be able to fulfill, and he's reflecting on that. The door opens up and we see Sumyan, the older sister of the late and beloved Rika Sumyan, and Maria has her blaster, like a silver, very like Padme Amidala style, sleek looking blaster, and she walks in and levels it at the back of Cincinnati Soren's head, and you can see this like barely controlled rage in her face. And we cut away to a moment when Tasa, you have helped with some of the assignment of the 30 or so refugees. People seem to be separating out with the families and groups that they have. Tirla, you helped to facilitate, oh, you can get this from here, and here's a few credits to take care of this. And the two of you are left. And I don't think you're in the hangar at this point. Let's move you to another spot in the space station, maybe a place that has a view of the gas giant itself and some of the nebula beyond. Does that seem cool?
Yeah.
Nice. So you both finished up, and the last person, a very jovial Twillick, who's kind of thick. I think he gives you both like 2-arm hug. It squeezes just a little hard, kind of thing. Maybe like we see the wooden arm that Tasa Bray has, and Tirla, there's a grunt from his big. Is there space bears? Is there Star Wars bears? Cody, help me out. Are there bears in Star Wars?
I mean, you're of course just completely glossing over our good friends, the Ewoks, the teddy bears.
Okay.
But there's also, there's
like a Wookiee hug. Is that
Wookiees? There's like Gagorans, right? There's Whippids. Those are both giant furry.
Oh, Steven played a Gagoran once. It was so great. Love that guy.
Of course, those are sentient species and not just Star Wars bears. But
bear folk. Just needed the bare necessities there. Thank you, Cody. And then he steps away, leaving the two of you together for a moment. There are straight up bears and legends. Good stuff. There's also a Jedi Master named Bear. That's great. Cool. You guys can talk if you want.
Yeah, yeah. So Tirla, this last group that we got, they're gonna take some time adjusting. I could tell that a few of them weren't very familiar, and they probably just got whiplash going from planet to planet. So they're gonna need some extra downtime and some extra handling. Do you have any suggestions for anything like that? I mean, I can tell that they're bothered. I can tell that they're upset. Tirla?
Yeah, it's
Mm.
that's right. No, it's that's not strange considering what they've been through, and I think we'll just have to try to give them some time.
Time isn't something that all of them have. Some of them can, but I suggest that we give them something to do, something more constructive.
Well, I know
Not
that the Ugnaughts running the infrastructure, they always need more workers, but not a lot of people are very fond of working down in the tunnels and such.
Do you think we could? That sounds great, but I think that going from a working job, to another working job
Mhm.
might just be an issue. Do you think we could get a payment advance so they immediately see the difference between, you know, working for someone else and working for themselves?
Sure, and I think maybe giving them some options. We can give them we because there are multiple places that need help. We need to convert more places into living quarters. There's always food preparation. Giving them a choice of what to do could be useful as well. Allowing them to find something where they feel like they're making a contribution instead of just being ordered into a specific job.
That's a good idea. I like that. Um, I'm not sure. You know, I'm not sure how much I'll be able to help setting this up with the rest of with the arcs, um, muckety mucks. The people in charge. Is that something you think you could talk to them about?
Sure, I would see what I can do.
Okay. I know that sometimes that makes you uncomfortable talking with people of station.
Well, now that I think they are beginning to understand who holds the real power here. So I think they'll be happy to accommodate what we need.
So I have a better idea. Do you think that the freed slaves have taken over the whole station, or do you think they have a part of it, and then there is still the rest of the team in charge?
I think that there are some parts of the station that are definitely theirs, and then there's kind of an uneasy like armistice. There's not open conflict, but the rich fancy people, they know that they're under threat if they like they're trying to strike the balance between keeping as much as they can of what they have and not creating open armed conflict, because that will definitely end badly and could send the whole station like crashing into the gas tank.
So, Taylor, whenever you mentioned needing new living quarters, um, are we still getting pushback from the rest of the, from the prior inhabitants, into where we're expanding, or do you think we've got that settled? I mean, do you need some help talking to them?
We're trying to use abandoned quarters because some of the some people have been leaving. They don't feel like they feel like they're in danger. The ones who are and some who were, let's say, less friendly towards the previous slaves have left, and we're trying to focus on using those quarters. But it takes time to convert them, so we're short on space, or suitable space.
Yeah, good. I just
So
wanted to make sure.
we're not kicking anyone out of where they're currently living, but we are asking for people to give up some extra space if they can.
I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't too much tensions with the previous inhabitants, so that's good to hear. So let's go through the assignments, and I'm going to suggest, different assignments for some of the people that we've got. I think that Talon would be very good, possibly as a guard, but maybe he would be better in food preparation because he's very jovial. I think Larnham Broer would be good working with the Ognaughts who are doing the mining. So let's actually see if he could help them refine their process, and that would help show his worth, and help reinforce, the things that are important to him. And then Flockshi and Doug, I think Flockshi, whenever I noticed came in, needed some repairs to their cybernetics. And I think that she could go in, and I think that Doug could help out with that, almost like a medical technician. And I think that would help them both feel more established, like this is more of a home.
Yeah, that all sounds great. Do you think do you want to set that up, or should
Yeah.
I ask someone? Because I'm kind of running. It's I have it's so busy. I have a hard time focusing on any individual person.
Oh no, I can absolutely do that. So I think I'm going to, and I'll just kind of sketch down some like work assignment kind of stuff, and we'll go through there and decide on what's best together, and which places to put people. And I'm like, this one's too angry. They might actually, we don't want to put them out too far in the public. We want to pair them up with someone who's going to kind of keep them in line, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
As you're working through the assignments and your ideas, there is a Gruden male that you recognize. You'd assigned him to head out with one of the families that have a bunch of younger kids, because he had told you he was good with kids. You still see the scars along his neck from the collar that you broke to free him. He doesn't look up as he approaches the two of you. And Tassa, as he comes closer, you see that he's clutching something in his right hand very tightly. And well, Togruta don't sweat. You get a sense he's struggling with something. There's some kind of tension. And Tierla, from just your ability to read and inspire people, you can also tell something's amiss. Let's give him a name. I'm sorry, I did not lead off with a name, so let me give one right now to him. We're going to call him Romar. Stick that name in our keeper under the freed people. By the way, whoever changed it from freed slaves to freed people, thank you. That was great. Excellent improvement. I appreciate that.
Would it be possible for me to try and read him? I don't think we have read a person, but I could do like a analyze on him to see. We don't have a read a person, is that right?
That is not a thing we stuck in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but analyze.
But I think analyze will work
it
just as well.
work. Yeah.
So
Sure.
let me see if I can do that, and I'll tune the questions towards that.
Okay. Another thing I'll point out while you're rolling the dice that I like about, and that's just Pinterest board for Star Wars, is you go to the Chagruda, and it's not all like cheesecake stuff. I really appreciate that. I know that that's a thing that Nish did seek out, tried to find. Is non. Oh, it's a bunch of sexy Twi'leks.
Yeah,
Because that's like the majority of the things.
I actively avoid those pictures as far as possible. I mean, it's fine to have someone who looks a bit sexy. There's nothing wrong with that, but a lot of them are just obvious cheesecake pictures.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you go to Pinterest and you type in Twi'lek, and yeah.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous. I'm sweating.
So I rolled a 9, which gets me one question. I think, what should I be on the lookout for?
Do you have any other moves that?
Oh, that apply?
I'm just checking. Yeah, because you have empathy as well. So you have a couple other questions you could ask.
Oh yeah, that's good. Okay.
You don't have to. I just want to make sure that you didn't go back later and go, oh crap.
No, I think that the question I asked is good. I think that it's what should I be on the lookout for? What's bothering him? Yeah.
You look into him, and then you look with your other sight, and you see these ghostly. Perhaps it's just your mind making sense of the images that you get, but you see these strings along the backs of his palms and at his elbows and his shoulders. And there's someone in the shadows pulling those strings, forcing each step forward as he comes up to you.
And I think I'll intercept him as he comes up towards Tirla, and I'll say, "Oh, Romar, what are you here for? How can I help you?"
I have to give you this. He holds out his hands. You see it. What he's been clutching, you can hear the crinkle of paper. What do you do? Yeah. As you're doing that, Tirla, Tassa just like moved in to intercept. Do you hang back, Tirla, or?
Yeah, I think I trust Tossa that if she's acting in that way, then she has sensed something, some sort of danger or something. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm taking like a half a step backwards. And I think like making a quick sweep to see if there's something approaching from somewhere else. If this is like a distraction and someone's trying to do something.
Okay. Cool. We'll deal with that in just a moment. So Tassa.
Yeah, I think we see that wooden hand reach out and grab the paper from that Romar has to flick it open and see what it is.
Tassa can read Arabic, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's written beautifully with a skilled hand. Someone spent time on this. And it says, Tossa Bray, Tear the Path. Enjoy this, your last day of existence. It's not saying.
Romar, where did this come from?
Woman told me I had to give it to you. I did that, right?
Yeah, you did a good job. Can you take me to her so that I can talk to her?
I'll take you where she was.
Yeah, and I'll turn to Tierla, and give her kind of a, warning. Oh, and then I'll, I think fan out the note so that Tierla can read it, and we'll head in that direction.
Yeah, Tierla, there's a note. It's a death note.
Yeah, I'm going with them.
All right. Well, there you go. By the way, Cody, I'm sorry you stubbed your toe. That's a very sucky thing. We have a bed with very sharp edges, and invariably once a month, I will just take the corner too quick and bust my knee on that corner, and then I just sit down for a little bit and curse my big clumsy self. So I don't know stub toe, but I know that, and it sucks.
Do you need medical attention? Cody? You're not bleeding for Star Wars. Right?
No, I'm good. Thank you for bearing with me in this trying time. I hope my toes will do better in the future. I don't know how I managed to stub my own. It's guys, it stung real bad.
I'm sure. I offered sympathy wholeheartedly, and not in a. I'm saying it's sympathy, but it's not really. I for sure hate that. Okay. So, you guys, I think Romar now having this is what I'm supposed to do feeling, he picks up his pace and jogs towards one of the hangar bays. Is there anything you're doing other than following behind him?
I think I'm going to get on our communicators and update everyone. Hey, we just got a threatening letter, specifically against Tierla and myself, and we're headed to the hangar bay to check it out. And I just wanted to put everybody on kind of a low key alert that we've had communication of threat. Yeah.
Do you know where this threat's coming from? Is there a name? Do you got a name? Description?
No name, just other than ours and the threat associated with it. So that's why we're checking it out. We're headed to the hangar bay, and we'll be in touch.
Heading to the hangar bay? I'll meet you there.
Okay. Don't go in until we get there. I don't want to spook anybody.
Yeah. Awesome. This isn't my first rodeo. That's the thing they do on Tatooine. You wouldn't know about it. It's fine.
Delightful. Sweet. Let's cut to Cincinnati. You get the comms come up on the cockpit, and Tossa and Tierla inform you of that, and you're about to respond when you realize someone else is here in the cockpit with you. You killed my sister. Cincinnati. Recognize the voice. What do you do?
Well, this is not the first time. Oh, okay. I cannot be surprised.
Yep. You are not surprised.
So I think
kind of
knew she was coming.
You knew she was coming.
I knew she was coming.
you gave her these moments.
Mm-hmm. I
Screw up
think
her
inwardly,
courage. Yeah.
Cincinnati is more and more okay with death every day, especially since he lost Rika, and since he is seeing freedom ain't free, baby. It costs to. It just there's a high price for making sure that other people are freed people, right? So I think inside he's thinking she needs this, she needs this. So I think Sin's just going to speak facts to her, and say, I didn't, but there's some days where I feel like I did.
Her hands starts to shake. You could sense, just the way you would at a Sabbath table, somebody that is trying to will themselves to make the big play, knowing that everything changes after the flip.
I could tell you to go ahead and pull the trigger, but I don't think it's going to make you feel better.
How do you know how to make me feel better?
Experience. I just cut the head off of a hut, and I think that's when I turn around in my chair and put my legs up like Malcolm Reynolds, and yeah, it really doesn't make you feel better, but you can try. Have you ever met Tassa Bray? She has some really interesting things about the other side. I think I'm ready to go see what's over on the great beyond.
Just gonna let me, huh?
It's not gonna bring her back.
What is Cincinnati trying to do here? Is he trying to convince her that there has to be a different way?
I think he legitimately cares about her emotional wellness. I think he's legitimately trying to talk her into seeing that this is just going to make things worse for her.
Well,
And
that
for
feels
once, he's
like
being
it.
truthful about it.
Yeah, feels like it. Which means you are walking away from many of your scoundrel con artist tricky ways.
Indeed. I think we have a moment like right before we had this exchange too, where like on the television screen movie of our game, we see him kill the lights, and then you hear, a tussle, and like he has disarmed her and is pointing the gun back at her, and then we cut back to this moment. It's like as a thing that he could have done,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, he's allowing this to happen.
Very, very Green Knight. I dig it. Let's see you negotiate here.
And negotiate. That's like Star Wars parlay, right?
It is.
Okay.
So you're going to be rolling plus cha.
Right. Oof. We got a 5 total.
Wow.
I rolled a 1 and a 2. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I would normally say I'd use my luck, but like I don't know. Maybe this is how he goes.
Yeah. You offer those words, and you hear that your crew, your friends, are heading to another hangar, not far from here. She notices it too.
Did you send that letter?
No.
I'll tell you what. We can continue this in the same position we're in. But I'd like to go help my friends first. They shouldn't have to pay because I let Rika die.
You're saying you'll come right back to this.
Yeah, and I think that there's a Star Wars version of car keys. There's something that maybe you have to like crank in the Duchess to get her to turn over. And I think I take it out and then I throw it at her. Just like as collateral.
I had to use an ion blaster on your stupid, ugly droid. I'm sure it's fine.
Well, at least you gave her something to hope for. She's gonna need a new casing now. She's operable, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's just an ion.
Ugh, okay. Look, just don't destroy any more stuff, okay?
See if you come back.
Can we have that moment and Rosie comes in into like the version of like stumbling from being stunned?
No, I think Rosie was stunned, and that's why she didn't try to save you or help you here.
Gotcha.
Is what's
Okay.
going on in my head.
I'll leave her the Star Wars version of a post-it note and be like, get the woman a hot drink when you wake up, Rosie. And I walk over her and I like tap her. I'm like, ugh.
Cool.
Is she gonna let me walk out?
She's gonna let you out, walk out.
Cool.
She's got the Duchess Gambit. She knows you care about it. She also
Leverage,
couldn't
I
quite
think they
pull
call
the-
it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of leverage. We'll see.
Yeah.
Go back to the hangar. Cause you get there about the time that Tassa and Tirla, as well as this young Togruta you recognize because you helped to excellently fly him to safety. And he comes up and enters a quick key code, and the doors open up, and you look inside the hangar. It does not have a spaceship in it. You see at the far end of the hangar is a person. Their back is to you. They're wearing some kind of hood. Tirla, Cause, you definitely recognize this hood is Jedi robes. The hood is pulled up. They're in some kind of crisscross applesauce, legs crossed, hunched over position.
I draw my blaster. I pull a weapon. And hold on, there's a move for this. It's pull out a weapon. So I'm going to pull out a weapon. The last time a Force user, a Jedi robe, or whatever the hell, they had to jump on us, and it made it real difficult. So I'm going to pull out basically like a big old sniper rifle and have it leveled on them, knowing that they're going to approach this figure, so that there's no surprise. If something pops off, I'll pop off first, is the idea. All right.
Tirla?
So
let's hit the move. Let's see how good you got it.
2d6 plus 2. And you know I'm rolling hot, bro. You know I'm rolling hot. That's right. It's a 6.
Mark that XP, baby. Unless you want to ask for help. Can you help me with my gun?
No.
Can you help me with my gun?
Guys, do you have my gun? Who took my gun?
Pull out a really cool gun. Hold on a sec, guys.
All right, I don't know why we're bullying me like this. Just because I rolled a 6.
I'm not bullying you. I'm just
You're bullying me.
Dice's voice.
Oh, okay, sure. But yeah, so I'm like, let me pull out my gun. Oh no, I don't have one. I fucked up.
That sucks. I'm sorry. I don't like when Mrs. I effed up, but that sucks. I feel bad now. I was mostly making fun of.
No,
Max
it's on
But
me.
anyways,
It's on me to have an actual weapon listed on my thing and not just assume I'll pull out what I need. Just to always have like a default, like, oh, I should have a blaster. It's like, no, stop trying to have fancy guns that are also plus this, plus that. Like, buy a flat gun next time.
next time. Okay, so pull out a weapon on a fail. Isn't there a thing? What happens when you're on a fail? To say on a miss?
Not that I see. There's 10 plus, a 7 to 9, and
Okay,
that's
so there isn't a
yeah.
specific. So it's hard move for me. I think yeah, we'll say that you've pulled out a weapon and I've got a hard move embedded in there. That sounds good. Yep, we'll go with that. We didn't do XP last time. We talked about doing it because we ran out of time. Oh man. I'm the worst. Okay. Tirla, Tassa, Kaz pulls out his sniper rifle. Just so you know, it's like the power pack's gonna explode when you fire on somebody. Cody, just so you know.
And I think Tassa kind of reaches over and kind of pushes down, like, hey, let's not escalate the situation until it hits. But yeah, I think this feels like another good point for discern realities, right?
Oh yeah, you should do that.
Roll that again. Oh, that's an 11.
Ooh.
What's about to happen?
Uh-huh.
What should I be on the lookout for?
Uh-huh.
And what here is not what it appears to be.
Hey, we'll start with the first one. There's no one living in those robes.
Mm.
You, as you move slightly closer, you're not right on it, but you move slightly to the side and you see a vantage point. You see that there is a very obvious hole in the back of these robes. Round hole. Point of a lightsaber sized.
Not good.
What is about to happen? You catch the scent of explosives emanating from that not a person.
Mhm.
And what's going to happen is they're going to explode. It's near enough to the door that, hey, gas giant, there's air out there. But that could be a problem. So what's your third question? I want to make sure
I think you answered all of them.
okay.
It was what's about to happen. What here is not what it appears to be, and what should I be on the lookout for? Yeah. I think you answered all of them.
Good.
So, I think I'm going to turn. So we're in a hangar.
Mm-hmm.
It's not open. I think the doors are closed, right?
Correct.
The way you described it.
It will shape the charge better.
Yes. I think my first inclination is to turn, and I'm gonna force push the rest of them back through the door that we just came through.
Mm-hmm.
To try to keep them out of the way of the explosion.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh.
Like you're. Are you defending or are you just hitting that power?
I think that's a defend.
I think so too. I was just looking at the defend. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm into that. Let's say you are defending. This is exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. Let me roll that.
Okay.
That's a 7.
All right. On a 7 to 9, you get to hold 1 readiness. You can spend your readiness 1 for 1 to suffer an attack's damage effects instead of your ward, have an attack's effect or damage, draw all attention from your ward to yourself. Not sure if that necessarily applies here. Strike back at an attacker, which means you could deal your damage at disadvantage if you want.
So really, it kind of narrows down to suffer an attack's damage instead of the ward, or have the attack's damage. I think I'll go with have the attack's damage, as basically as I shove as I shove them kind of back out into the corridor or something, they get some cover.
Oh, that I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna roll dice.
So did we get we get pushed back through the door?
Yes.
Or you get some form of cover, whatever you feel like. I don't want to take over your
Yeah,
character
what-
and say this is
yeah.
where you
No,
are,
no,
but yeah.
The attempt is to try to shove you to some kind of safety.
Pushed back through the door is good, I think. Like I think I'd like it to be like not a glass door, but it has like a transparent part of it so that we can see what's happening.
Well, I think it's half damage, so I don't think the door shuts. And that's
Okay,
why
okay,
you take
cool.
half damage. But it's like mostly contained in the hangar. Where toss up, you halved its damage, so you took some kind of cover as well, right? That's what that move does for you.
I think it does, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure narratively how that works.
It
I
could
think
easily be of like the explosion, the fire. We do a little bit of swelling music of Grogu saving Space Dad, and the fire is you protect yourself from it a bit. Could be.
I think the way I had picture it is more along the lines of I go to shove the rest of them out, but that shoves me back as well. And
Oh,
I
neat.
think the shape is charged in a particular direction, so we each, we're out of that main thrust of the explosive, but we're forced in different directions.
I like it.
And
Sounds cool.
It's about time for me to go.
It is. So the last moments is the explosion comes through you guys. The hangar is lit up. The doors blast off, and you guys take half of 15. I'm gonna be mean and round up. Therefore, you each take 8 hit points of damage, which unfortunately kills Romar. That is more than he can take, being a 0 level sacrifice.
I think we see Ramar like pushed out into the empty space and falling.
Yeah, I'm into that. That sounds cool. And immediately klaxons pop off, and it's gonna get crazy hectic. But Stephen, we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
For playing with
And
us when you can.
Yep, and I think Tassa gets shoved kind of off camera, and we don't know what happened to her. And thank you very much. I'll see you next week.
Excellent. So with Steven stepping away, I'd like to just take because we haven't taken a break. So let's take a bio break.
Sounds good.
Pause. So as we have stipulated, Tassa Bray is somewhere in the rubble, and we're not going to worry about her. Cincinnati, after you talked your way free of the person who had you at gunpoint, you arrive on the scene to see the molten metal, the dead Togruta, Cause, and Tirla. Cincinnati, you were too late. You do.
I'm just gonna ask what happened. Are we under fire, or is this a moment of like respite?
there's a lot of chaos. There are security forces coming on scene. There are people who are going in to brave the fire to try to suppress this hangar from being completely ruined. Person will come up to, maybe there's a person who's come up to you, tear the path, check to see if you're okay. They're like flashing a little bit of a light in your eye with some kind of glow rod that they have to check out your reflexes.
So
And
I'm
yeah,
walking into the post chaos scene, right?
yes.
Are there people in like foil capes and space EMPs and that
Yeah.
sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the first person I see and ask them what happened.
Some kind of explosion. We're not sure what caused it. You should stay back, sir. Oh, Lando. Sorry, Lando. And then he goes back to doing whatever he's doing. I mean, Lando's face was broadcast to this entire frickin' station. There's still people who think you're Lando.
Okay, can we make it so that like the jig is up and some people think I'm Lando, but some people know I'm not? But that's sort of
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah, that's in my head. It's like
that has sort of like become the face of the rebellion as well. It's a bit of a joke. It's like we have the actual Lando Calrissian on posters, and Lando Calrissian is probably getting these memos like, I didn't start a rebellion anywhere. What is this? Like, yeah. But anywho, yeah, I'm just gonna find my friends.
okay.
What's going on,
Yeah,
you
you
guys?
come upon Cause. You're in armor, so I think
Yeah,
you're pretty bad.
so-
But not too bad.
Cos was, he was aiming down the barrel, waiting for something to happen with that cloak, and the cloak didn't turn; it just blew up. So he watched that happen, and knowing the message that we received, or that Tirla and Tossa received specifically, that wasn't a bounty hunter. That was like personal, and Cos believes that if it's personal, the person who did it wants to be sure. And so when it goes off, what he's going to do, what I do, is I'm going to scan the hangar and look for any other people, any other viewports, any cameras, anything that could give me a lead on who did this, because they would have want to have seen it. And if I don't see anything like that, Kaz is going to be very specific about watching the people who come here to investigate.
Awesome. Please analyze the scene, and if you
I'm
have
gonna-
any
Phew.
bounty hunter related things you'd like to do along with that.
Yeah, I'm analyzing the hell out of this.
I'll assist
And-
as well.
Nice.
Let's see here. So assist. Do you have to roll and boost? I forget how assist works in this. I'm sorry.
Oh yes. So that's a great question. When you help or hinder someone you have a bond with, you roll plus bond. You should have a bond +2 with your buddy Cause Kingrave. And then that would give Cause the ability to roll with advantage.
Cool.
Unless you fail.
All right.
Do you want to go ahead and roll that first?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because if it gives me advantage, or does it boost it to the success? Oh boy, it's help or hinder.
Okay, I roll an 8. So you get to roll 3d6s now, right?
Cool.
Correct. You're
Uh,
mixed up in it.
Right.
So
I'm implicated.
I'm going to tell me if this fits. Using my hunter's nose when I spout lore about someone you know or you've heard of. This isn't someone, but this is something I know of, like vendettas, even though I do have a move called vendetta. It feels like this is a thing Kaz knows about.
I like it.
Okay. All right. So that allows me, I don't even know what it does actually. And a hit, you can also ask that. Okay, it gives me extra questions that I'm allowed to ask. So I'm rolling 3d6. I'm analyzing, which is a wisdom. And my wisdom is, of course, minus one.
It seems odd that the stats are
Eh.
out of alignment with the way you've played the character, honestly.
Who can say? Who can say how these things
So many
work?
people come to Cause for advice and rely upon his sense of the universe.
Yeah, that's that's what Kaz is known for.
Wisdom.
All right. 3d6, taking the 2 higher, -1.
Nice.
Boy, howdy. The 2 higher are going to put me at 10 -1 is 9. Oh, no, excuse me. 9 -1 is 8.
Okay. I was like, it's the same result. I'm not going to correct the math. It's all good, though.
I told you I studied English. I'm not a math guy.
It's true. You don't have any math books right in reach of you, do you? Right? It's like English to Swedish to math.
Those the math books really got out of the house fast after I finished those courses.
Amazing. There are books you'll get rid of. Okay. You get one question.
I get one question and it can be a part of, I can also ask the GM either of these questions and take one forward. So how could they be taken? Okay, that's nothing really. Yeah, in this case, I want to, who or what is really in control here?
You look around to see if there are any looky-loos, if there are any cameras, if there's anyone watching. And you realize, oh, well, this hangar is in rough shape. They would not have put a camera there. But you sure enough do see a very small little camera droid, a little cam droid. It's like a, one of the load lifter droids, very low on the processing power level, very dumb, easy to hack, that is observing. Crap, I started that and I want to make sure I'm answering the question as well. So who or what is really in control here? And
I think that can be the answer. The who's in control is whatever's controlling that droid.
Feeling that this was not a purposeful explosion. It was an act of terror. It's the first move, or perhaps the second move.
Okay. So with that, I clock it. I'm not going to make it obvious that I clock it. And I'm going to get on the comm. I'm going to say, a droid was watching this. I have eyes on him. Look up towards, the upper level corner. You'll see a load carrier staring off into the hangar. Don't make it obvious. We're going to tail it. Or maybe not tail it. Now that I think about it, it's a droid. It's submitting a signal. That person's not here. It's not going to go to the... I'm going to hack it. Do we have a hacker? Do we have a slicer? Oh, I'm so bad at this part.
You are not good at slicing, and I think of the three of you, I don't know who would be.
I can disable security
to slice the last time. We were doing like there was something in the hangar, a door or something.
Yeah, there was.
I can disable a security system. I mean, if it has a camera.
You know what? I know a guy, Doug, the Enzellan. He's a slicer. He's everything you could want in Enzellan and more. Hold on. I'm going to use my blaster that I pulled out. And I'm going to flip it to stun. And I'm going to stun this droid so he can hack it. And I'm going to pull the trigger. And I'm sure it's not a hard shot because it's just a droid looking, it's there.
Not hard at all. Please roll your damage. Okay. Normally ion damage, but unfortunately, the power pack was not properly stored.
I would never do this. Somebody did something bad.
Before you do that, and only because this might be relevant, and since I am implicated in this move, and I certainly have a bad feeling about this because we just got exploded, I would like to ask a question from I've got a bad feeling about this list. Is that okay?
Of course.
What can I see that no one else can?
See that no one else can.
Can I see that the gun is going to explode and cause his hand if he does this? Or
I kind of like the idea of you helping out your bud cause. You see that there's a crack in the power pack that cause mist, and that there's just a little bit of liquid drip off of it, and that power pack has gone bad. It's very rare, and it's probably hasn't happened to Cause in forever, because he's usually really good about stuff. But things have been going on.
And then I squeeze the trigger.
Oh my god!
9 damage. Do with it what you will, Rich.
Yeah, just a moment to shove Tila out of the way. Your poor sister, save her from getting exploded a second time. And 9 damage. I don't see armor written here. Why is the armor 0? But you have armor in your picture. What's going on?
I think between sessions. He had sold his armor off or whatever, but he hadn't had a chance to re-gear. So it just is what it is.
Oh, that's so harsh. You are so mean to yourself. I adore it. Boom! It glows up, and people are like, "Whoa!" They're ducking down. They're thinking it's another, another bomb, right? And until you got shoved down out of the way, Cincinnati. Your bud cause. He just exploded himself. What do you do?
Okay. Tierly is safe and out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look to cause. Is he on fire or is he okay?
You can help put him out, right? Like there's some singes, it's dramatic ones. Like we can see a little bit of his, cut abs and stuff.
Oh,
Maybe an
okay.
airbrushed in. We're not sure. Post production. We
get that shot from Thor. Okay, if he's okay, then I'm gonna go after the droid. And I'm gonna try to shoot
it's taken off at this point, right? Explosion,
oh, we lost it?
Somebody tried to shoot at it. It's flying away. You want to give chase? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yep, I do. And then I want to use my second question on, I've got a bad feeling about this. What here is the biggest threat as I chase this droid?
What here's the biggest threat?
Yeah.
The person at the other end of this camera droid?
All right, makes sense.
Probably.
All right, we're in pursuit. I like to think
because there are space patrol people here. They're your friends. You are leaving them to go chase after this camera droid. I don't know. Tierla maybe follows you, but I think Cause needs to he's taking a lot of hits. It's going to take him a minute or two to get the senses clear before he takes off after you. I think that's fair.
I like the idea of like me looking at Cause and Cause being like, chase the droid as he's getting helped by the space EMTs. Yeah. And then like I jump on a crate and then I jump on a forklift and then I grab onto a hook and then onto another crate. And we are in pursuit, man.
That is great. Please defy danger.
All right.
Do something chancy chasing after this thing.
Yeah.
You're rolling with dexterity, I think, because speed and agility is important here. Does that feel right to you and what you're trying to do?
That sounds right. That sounds right. I think my dex is 1. Yep. All right, let's do the thing. All right, 8.
Okay, on a 7 to 9 with defy danger, you can do it, but the GM will present a lesser success, a cost, a consequence, or maybe a choice between them. Offer you possibly a chance to back down. You head through a central area in Neffel Station. You pass from the hangar where there's a lot of, as you saw, like forklifts and the like. Clever Eyes pick. Like currently powered down is the like forklift mech from Aliens. But it's like off to the side and there's a tarp partially over it. It's just an Easter egg for clever-eyed folks. And you come to a hub where there are a lot of people from Neffel Station, but most people are looking around like not sure what's happened. There are klaxons going off, there's fire suppression alarms, and some people are moving out of the way. I'm imagining this is like a promenade, like a central area, lots of people. The droid cam is heading up, and so you have to get higher either by jumping on more crates or possibly taking a turbo lift up. But it's gotten far enough ahead of you that you realize now you have no backup.
Okay.
This thing ducks down a little like alcove hallway thing. You could shoot it before it reaches wherever its destination is, or it's not like you can catch up to it, but then you're going down that alcove as well, where you try to pop off a shot to stop it. If
no, we could destroy the data within. No, we got to save that data. So I'm going to pitch you this and piggyback on you saying that it's about to head to an area where it's going to start going up. I think there is like this area that goes upward, and then this thing is like a little orb that's flying, right? Is that right, Rich?
Yeah. It's like a
Okay.
fist-sized, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna start going up, and I know that it's gonna outrun me if it goes up. So I want to jump as it goes, like maybe we have stairs like going up this way. I want to try to jump on it like Obi-Wan and catch it that way and keep it from going upward.
Okay.
And if I fall, it's gonna hurt.
That is gonna hurt. Yeah.
And if
that
you
sounds
fall,
fun.
that's the end of the session. That's a wrap on Sin.
I take a D100 damage. All right. Is it also Defy Danger Dex or Defy Danger Strength, maybe? Because I have to launch
I was
myself.
thinking like it was a little more like fight. You're trying to catch it, avoid, prevent, counter enemies' attacks, strike hard for fast. Yeah. Let's have you roll plus strength.
All right. My strength is 0, of course. Oh, I rolled an 8.
Hey.
8.
Yes.
8.
You can capture this thing. Here's your hard choice. You realize as you are about to jump forward. Oh yeah, you've got the perfect trajectory. You can grab this thing, but what if the person who you're chasing after isn't down that dark corner? You don't know. Maybe you could hack this thing. We could figure it out, but they're gonna know. They won't be there. Gotcha.
We have the power of friendship. If they know we're after them, I'm gonna go full Corleone here and say like, you hurt our station, you hurt my friends, we're coming after you. I don't care if you know it or not. So we get the slow-mo look where like this thing is like floating and about to go up, and then Sin just like jumps on this thing, and it's like slow-mo and just grabs it. And all the while thinking like, I don't know if you can see me, bad guy behind this thing. We're gonna bring you down like I'm bringing down this droid.
All right. You catch the droid, nimbly come down. Let's say you take a couple hit points of damage as you crash down onto the deck there. Whoa.
Yeah, sounds good. Oh.
I'm so tempted to have one of them say, Mr. Calrissian, are you okay? But and then another one says, No, that's the Soul Run guy.
That's a whole gig. Did you hear about that?
Clarificad.
Sounds good. I think I drop maybe like a couple levels below, but I land on some crates and some other things, and I'm clutching this thing. I'm wrestling it down. Yeah.
We cut back to Tear the Path and Cause Kingrave. Did you take off after Cincinnati or leave him to race off into the unknown?
Yeah, I think Taylor was pretty shook up after the explosion. Like, who knows what happened to Tossa? This other person who seems to have been forced to luring them there just flew out into space and died. So, but when she hears, she's been hearing the comms discussion, and when she hears that Sin is going after this droid by himself, she kind of forces herself to follow and go after him, because she has to protect him. He's putting himself in danger again, and she can't let anything bad happen to him.
Nice. What about Cause?
Yeah, I think Cause, he just had his rifle blow up in his hands. That's unusual. Perhaps sabotage. He goes for the comlink, sees that that's been blown apart. That was on his chest. It's gone. So he's going to get up, trust that Sin can get a hold of the droid, stun it, whatever. And Kaz is going to look to Tyrla. Tyrla, stay where you are. You're hurt. You're hurt bad. Meanwhile, there's shrapnel and stuff all over Kaz's face and chest.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps now is actually when he loses his eye. Who knows? And he is going to run to find the Inzellan Doug. He needs to find Doug and ask him for his help. So he knows this needs to happen fast.
Sure. No problems. Like screen wipe, you come in, the Inzellan is I'm imagining, like, I'm totally biting off Mandalorian, where they had those like half floor apartments, and there's a few other Anzellans, and they're like talking, and they have very small, well, large because they have big hands, cups, and they're drinking, and the Anzellans talking with them.
Can I
The no
add?
squeezy. That's my favorite quote.
Can I add that there's a cup and it has like a little fire underneath, and there's an Anzellan in it, and he's in a jacuzzi. He's like shirtless, like this, and he's like, like he's screaming and like telling the
Yeah.
other guy what to do. Like,
Yeah, you like lift up a panel and look in, and you see that it's just like a little hangout / speakeasy for the Anzellan folks. And there's one guy who's like, he's in a little bucket, and it's a bucket
Yeah.
jacuzzi thing. Yeah, it's dope.
Perfect. Yeah. So Kaz lays down on the ground and looks his eye through the door, and he's just like, "Doug, are you in there? Doug, I need your help. You owe me a
Then
favor."
someone throws like one of the little cups and hits you in the cheek.
My
And Anzellan
my
Doug
good
just
eye.
like, oh, hey. He speaks to them, grunts a few times, and walk away. One of them, it's like subtitles, says, "Man, it's just these huge big ones always coming into our place." And then Doug walks over. "What do you need?"
We got a droid that we need sliced. We need to find out who sliced it.
Okay.
All right,
Pick
let
me
me
up.
take you. I reach into the hole, grab him, pull out the Anzellan, pop him on my shoulder. Do you have a comm on you? Can you make a call?
Of course.
I lost mine. Okay, great. Sin, where are you?
Sin, are you there?
Sin, meet me back at the Duchess. We'll slice that droid. We'll get to the root of this.
No
squeezy. No, I'm not squeezy.
Meanwhile, I have my comm as I'm wrestling this thing, and I'm like, "Let's go. I'll meet you there."
Keeps trying to go. Sweet. So we'll cut to the scene of the Anzellan with all the wires and everything. I'm imagining, cause you're like engaged with this.
Here, real quick question. I know we're just about at time. Is that what happens? Because isn't somebody sitting in the Duchess waiting for Cisco to come back? Waiting for Sin?
It's kind of true, yeah. There's that. So you guys head back in.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to end on, is you guys heading back to the Duchess Gambit, and when you lower the gangway, a woman steps in the way, and she's got a blaster pistol. And we'll just cut there. So, Andesh, I know you're not with us next week, and I was trying to find a way to like give you a cool off ramp, but I failed on multiple opportunities.
That's fine. We'll see. Maybe, like I said, maybe I'll be able to join you. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I'll try to let you know in advance.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, if not, Tyrla's in Medbay. In Bacta.
Yeah.
That was a big explosion.
Oh,
So if you don't
tank
show,
maneuver.
we'll just go with the Tyrla and Medbay option that works for me.
Cool.
It works for you, Andesh. Okay.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Cool. Let's quickly go through our end of session questions, because I failed to do so last time. Let's see. Did you have a thrilling adventure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you discover something about the galaxy or its history? I think no, not so much. Did you defeat a threat to the region or the people?
Not really. No, not yet.
Did you recover or redeem someone or something you once thought lost? I'm going to say you guys helping out all of the refugees, helping to make Neffel Station a better place counts. Did you restore hope?
Did I maybe restore a bit of hope on what's her name, sister?
Ooh,
I like that. Yes.
Cool.
So that's 2 XP for the group, and then we will ask Cause Kingrave, did you drive? Did you struggle with or demonstrate your drive?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring the guilty to justice right now.
Yeah, you are. Thank goodness you weren't trying to get paid because you really blew that.
Mm.
Did you take a risk to help someone in a way that reflects your bond with them?
I think, well, did I take a risk? Maybe not. I was going to say, I think for my actions being kind of Tearlapath's right-hand man to be kind of the muscle, I thought that was reflecting the bond of
For sure.
IO
Yes,
Tearlapath.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
And you were at risk. You like went into a bomb situation with somebody wearing Jedi robes or something. I don't know.
That's true. Okay, I'll take it. All right.
All right, and Ash, for your final XP questions, did you pursue your drive or struggle with your drive or exemplify your drive?
Yeah, I think that build a power base to help others. I think
Yes, I'm so glad.
doing that.
We had so much trouble with your drive. What about bonds?
Yeah, I think like trusting Tossa when she was the way she acted in this whole bomb situation. I kind of trusted her that she had the insight needed.
Nice. Cincinnati Soul Run, did you exemplify or struggle with your drive to break the law? Da-da-da-da.
I want to make a new drive.
Okay.
Could I say that my new drive is to overthrow the shackles of tyranny or something of that
yes,
sort or
and it
kind?
definitely sets up what we're interested in for Soul Run's potential pivot.
Future. Yeah. And if you allow me to check that off, then yes, I believe I
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Cool, you're already doing the thing. What
Yeah.
about bonds? Did you risk
Like,
yourself
did I
for any bonds?
resolve any or?
So bonds, did you take a risk to help someone in a way that reflects your bond with them? I think you definitely tried to help everybody off by taking off to actually the camera droid. Definitely put yourself at risk there.
Okay, then yeah. Let's
Cool.
say I did that. Okay, so 2 more. Cool.
Right.
All right,
So let's quickly go through wishes and stars. Who's got wishes?
I can start.
Final session.
For the final session, my wish for the final session. I'd like to start hard framed and in the action. I want it a clear propulsive start. And I just think it's because we do love our pregame chatter, and I think it gives us a very relaxed energy when we start the game, and so it kind of makes it hard to spin up. And so maybe if we just here's what's happening, here's what's got to go, we're all together, and needs to happen, which we've left ourselves off for. So I think that's going to be an easy wish to hit.
Sounds
also
good.
I also do have a hard out at 10 next week. The 10th edition of Warhammer's coming out, and I got to get to battling right away. So it's very important.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I have a lot of friends coming over.
Okay.
We're celebrating my birthday early by just playing
That's awesome.
Warhammer all day. So
happy early birthday.
oh,
That's
thank
great.
you, thank you.
Sounds really fun. Don't understand, but go
Man,
do Warhammer.
There's something about the competitiveness between a bunch of friends in a game that we're all absolutely terrible at and drinking that really brings the whole thing to an incredible level.
Lovely.
You've never heard shit talk like two idiots who don't know how to play a game and rolling 60,000 D6s at each other. And it's just luck, but you better believe that we make each other feel like we're the greatest general that's ever lived in history.
I can see the appeal. No, that sounds great. I would play Warhammer 40K with you and your friend. Awesome. So Dash, please give us wishes. I will not work too hard to grant them because you're not here.
Well, I wish
if you show up, then I'll be like, "Oh crap! What did he say?"
No, but otherwise, I just hope that you all have a satisfying conclusion. That's all.
Cisco, you have the calm.
Yeah, I shared my wish, and for people watching at home or for future me watching this at some point, I asked Rich to send off Sin to the rebellion, or to give the ultimate sacrifice. One of those two.
Cool.
To
cool.
To make.
You went last with wishes. You could go first with stars. Cisco, any stars from our our play today.
Oh man, I'll give a start to Endesh now. It's just been such a pleasure playing with you, Endesh. If you don't make it next week, I want to say that now. Gonna miss your presence next week, and then I'll just miss playing with you. You know, waking up on Saturdays and knowing that I get to play with Endesh. Cody, just great job. I love Cost so much. Specifically this week, I like that beginning scene with Sadie. Like the fact that you keep going back to bureaucracy and reports, and I love that so much. And then Rich, I give you a star for sharing that I actually threw you off a little bit. I never thought that I could do that
Was
without
so thrown
meaning
off.
to.
Whoa, that wasn't on camera. That wasn't on recording. No one
Okay.
needs to know.
I
Oh,
was
that's
thrown
right.
off. I
I'm
didn't know what
sorry.
to do when Cincinnati was like, "Oh, whatever you want, shoot me or not." Like, what?
You're right. That didn't happen. If it's not recorded, it didn't happen. So
Fine.
y'all just ignore that comment. But seriously, thank you for sharing, because we don't always know what happens behind the proverbial GM curtain. So thank you for sharing.
No problem. No problem. Thank you, Cisco. What about you and Dash? Possibly last time.
Yeah, this series has been a lot of fun. I'm glad we could add a couple of more sessions to it. Yeah, I'd love to play this game again. Definitely play with this group again. It's been super fun. Really great playing with you, Cisco. Cody and Rich, always a great time staying with Steven. But yeah, Cisco, I think I've seen you maybe in some recordings before, but yeah, it's been really good to see you really push the emotional stuff and be willing to let Stin go when you feel it's the right time. That's really good. So yeah, I'll stop there.
Thanks, Dash. Cody, bring us home.
Yeah. All right, stars. Hey, Steven, you're gone, but God bless, bro. I don't know if you're watching this, but if not, third person, he always brings a really nice tone to playing Jedi. He has a nice calmness to him, which I think speaks to people who are supposed to be emotionally in control, and I just think he does that really well. Cisco, bringing back that you were studying under Tassa about death in the almost duel was chef's kiss. I also do love that you're always down to try and help, but I can't help myself. I want the bad rolls to be bad and hurt me, and that's a me problem. I understand. That's a me problem.
Great problem. I love that problem.
Yeah, Unders. Always great playing with you. It's a blast getting to see, and you always make great characters. So it's great seeing. Okay, here's Tirlapath, and I know Tirlapath's going to come up again because you know when to create these wonderful characters and when to bring them back for other sessions, and so that's really cool to see. Even though I am all in favor of Cisco playing it like you stole it until the character is exploded and dead, as have happened to like half my characters in Rich's games. It's nice to have characters and be like, cool, we can leave you here, and this toy still exists for later. I think that's awesome. And my final star, Rich, when you said in the duel, you said a version of like a Sabak player knowing everything is about to change at the flip. That was such an evocative, truly like experiential flavor of describing the scene. And it was like, damn, I'm right in there. It was like chills. And it was just a wonderful button.
Oh my God. That's my favorite star I've gotten in a long time. Thank you. That's great. Oh, thank you all so much. I can't believe we're on the penultimate session of Stellar Conflict for now.
For now.
This is great. I love this crew. I love coming in and not knowing where you're going to take things. I love being surprised, even if I'm caught flat-footed and don't do a good job reacting. Just, oh yeah, things can surprise me. Oh, delightful. Not everything is as I planned it, thank God. I like to be surprised, so very happy about this session. Nadesh, I hope you can make it next week, because I would love it if you could. And if you can't, that's a-okay. It's always a pleasure, and I look forward to playing with you more. That will bring this session to a close.